The time is going to pass regardless. My thing is, what will you do with the time? When you start taking action and you start trusting yourself, you start believing more in yourself because you are a woman or a man of your word. We expect so much of other people, but no, put that same pressure on yourself. Hey homegirl or homeboy, I am Kiani, the responsible homegirl. Welcome back to my YouTube channel if you are watching this on YouTube, or welcome to the podcast if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. I am so happy that you are here. It is April, which means it is Financial Literacy Month. It is my birth month. Y'all, I'm just convinced that April is the best month of the year. I don't want to hear no slander in the comments. Oh, Easter. Yes, April is for sure the best month of the year, okay? No slander in the comments. But I'm so excited about April because it is Financial Literacy Month. So I am going to be going super hard with sharing more financial education, financial literacy, things to really just shape and change your mindset around money so that we can make better financial decisions. If you're new to The Responsible Homegirl, The Responsible Homegirl is a brand that I created back in 2020 after I went through some financial struggles in college. And it started off as an Instagram page, and I just realized that 20 somethings, or really my peer group, my friend group, none of us was talking about money. And I'm like, here I am struggling. I'm facing eviction. I'm too embarrassed to even talk about it. And I know for a fact none of my friends are having money conversations because I wasn't having money conversations. So it started off as an Instagram page. And from there, I just started sharing content consistently. And people would slide in my DMs. They would ask me different questions. Key, how do you budget? What credit card do you think is the best? How do I increase my credit score? Just all of these different stuff. And I'm like, hold up. I got something here. So from 2020 up until now, I have been in these personal finance streets doing my best to help you stop wasting your money and become financially responsible so that you can live the life of your dreams. Now, earlier I told you that it is Financial Literacy Month. Woo woo. So no better way to kick it off than this very bold phrase. You do not need more education. You need to take action. Now, I got this from this audio that I was listening to by Tony Robbins. And when he said it, that thing hit me like a ton of bricks. Because we live in an age right now where we have access to so much information. Books, podcasts, YouTube videos, all sorts of things. ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. I want to be ChatGPT. But we have access to so much information. And we don't have an information problem. We have an action problem. And I strongly believe this. And I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it is just me. But I want to share this with you because I strongly believe if you start taking action, and I'm talking small, consistent action over time, you will see so much progress. You will see so much different things in your life. I can remember when I was facing eviction back in 2019. I literally knew nothing about personal finance. I knew nothing about financial literacy. All I knew was I was embarrassed that I did not have my rent money. I was too prideful to pick up the phone, call my mom, and ask for help. And I needed to figure out a way to get myself out of this situation. So immediately I started reading books. I started watching YouTube videos. I started listening to podcasts. I was doing all of this different stuff, consuming information. And at that time, it helped me out so much. But more importantly, or more important than consuming the information, I applied what I learned. Even without knowing all of the things, without knowing from A to Z if I was doing the right thing, I'm like, no, if I read this in this book, I'm going to actually apply it. Case in point, and I actually talked about this in a prior YouTube video about how I started my Roth IRA. I was reading this book called The Automatic Millionaire, and in that book, they talked about the importance of a Roth IRA and the difference between if you started investing at 21 versus 41 and all of the tax benefits and just so much things. And I'm like, you know what? When I get my next refund check, not only am I going to pay my rent up, but I'm going to start my Roth IRA. And I started that Roth IRA with $1,000. But just imagine if I read that stuff in the book, but I didn't open up a Roth IRA. It's just information. And we have been lied to. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. So you have to actually apply what you learn so that you can have some power to do something. Have the power to take action, to change your financial situation, to truly change your life. And yes, I'm talking about finances, but this applies to every single thing. Don't just be a hoarder of information, consuming, and not apply anything. So I'm not saying that information is bad, because it's not. I do believe that there's a lack of financial education. But 9 times out of 10, you know what to do. When I meet with people one-on-one, I have my money clarity sessions. A lot of people, they already know their problem. Yes, I come in and I help them with organization. I help them reframe their mindset around money. I help them look at budgeting in a brand new way. But most of the time, they know their problem is a lack of discipline. I eat out too much. I have way too many subscriptions. I don't make enough money. My rent is too expensive. Just so many different things that they already know, but they need somebody like me that's going to encourage them and challenge them to really think about the financial decisions that they're making. So again, you don't need more education, you need action. And in this conversation, I want to talk to you about how to really achieve your financial goals. It is April 1st, a brand new month, and we are hopping into the second quarter of 2025. So if you have been reflecting on the past 3 months, or if you even haven't had the time to reflect yet, this should be your time to reflect. How has January through March looked for me? Have I been consistent with my goals? Do I even have goals? Have I been visiting my goals? Have my goals been top of mind? Or have I just been so busy making a living, trying to survive, figuring it out day to day, and settling for what life is giving me instead of creating the life that you desire? I want anyone listening to the sound of my voice right now to know that you have the power to design the life that you want. But sometimes we are so caught up in our day to day, caught up in busy work, caught up in stuff, and all of those things are valid. However, you cannot let how can I say this? You cannot let your everyday responsibilities get in the way of what you really want. So, in this conversation, I want to talk about how to really achieve your financial goals in 2025. And hopefully, this conversation just gives you a breath of fresh air and puts you on the path so that you can start fresh. Like maybe this is the reset that you needed. So, number one, you have to start with why. You need vision. What is your vision around your finances? What is it that you want to accomplish before the end of this year? And don't get so fixated on the outcome. I want you to focus on you. Focus on you. What is going to be fueling you? What is going to be motivating you to actually give your money direction instead of just letting it sit in your checking account, pay bills, and then go wherever else it wants to go because it has no direction, it has no discipline? What do you want? Dig beneath the surface. I'm not talking about I want to save more money. That's not good enough. Because you could start off with $0 this year and then you could save $20 on December 25th. That's what you want? I want you to dig beneath the surface. Okay, you want to save more money. Why do you want to save more money? When you get this money saved, what is it for? What's the purpose of it? Go beneath the surface and stop playing so surface level. And don't be afraid to set the goals and dream big and go after what it is that you want. Because I'm telling you, and I'm learning this myself, whatever you tell your brain is going to support and build a case for whatever you tell it. So if you jump into something saying that, oh, this is so hard, your brain is automatically thinking, oh, it's hard. And it's going to find 1,000 reasons why to support your statement of this is hard. But if you tell your brain, no matter what, I am going to save $10,000 this year, your brain is going to figure out how you're going to save $10,000 this year. Whether that's cutting back on expenses, whether that's increasing your income, starting a side hustle, doing this, doing that, it's going to figure out a way to accomplish that goal. But most of the time, we are too lackadaisical, too lazy, too afraid to even push ourselves beyond what it is that we know. We too comfortable. We can be unhappy with the situation and still be comfortable in it. But I'm not going to get too deep there because I want to talk about that later on. But push past your comfort zone so that you can really work towards getting what you want. So that's the first thing. To really achieve your goals in 2025, you need to define your why. What is your vision? Get vision around your finances so that your money can have direction and discipline. One of my favorite teachers, Miles Monroe, he says, if you don't have vision for your life, you do anything with your life. My responsible homegirl twist is, if you don't have vision for your finances, you'll do anything with your money. I used to be the girl doing anything with my money because I had no vision. It just looked like a lot of money sitting pretty in a checking account. Please, let's be for real. The second thing you need to do if you really want to achieve your goals in 2025 is start taking action. Consistency brings results. Consistency produces results. And it might not be the result or the outcome that you want, but I promise you will learn something. And that is something that I'm learning in this season of my life. Kiana, you don't have control over the outcome, but that doesn't mean don't be consistent. Because within that consistency, something is building in you. You're learning something. It doesn't matter what it is. You might think that the purpose of me doing this is to get X, but God really has Y for you. And I pray that that makes sense. So the outcome attached to your consistency might not be your desired outcome, but you're still going to get something. Just think about times in your life, like if you would have been consistent with something, how different your life would have been. I think about times in my life, like, dang, if I would have been consistent in the gym 2 years ago when I said I wanted to be a gym girly, I probably would have been at my desired weight right now. Or if I was consistent on YouTube when I first started my YouTube channel, I would have been a monetized YouTube by now. So the time is going to pass regardless. My thing is, what will you do with the time? When you start taking action and you start trusting yourself, you start believing more in yourself because you are a woman or a man of your word. We expect so much of other people, but no, put that same pressure on yourself. So whatever financial goals, whatever vision you have around your finances, make that your top priority and then work backwards. Start taking action on it because those consistent small actions over time lead to results. And it might not be the desired outcome that you want, but don't leave the season empty-handed. You're still going to get something if you always look for the lesson and make sure that you're not discounting whatever it is that you're doing. Show up in excellence, day in, day out, or however consistency looks for you. But the more consistent you become, the more results you will produce. Hey, homegirl or homeboy, I know you are enjoying this conversation, but I wanted to hop in to tell you about Budgeting and Saving 101. This is a money management masterclass that I host on the third Tuesday at 7 p.m. every single month to help you build a solid financial foundation. Financial stability is at your fingertips, and whatever you want to achieve financially, it starts with budgeting and saving. So the peace you want in your finances, the joy you want around your finances, the stress that you want to avoid, all of that starts with budgeting. So I hope that I see you in Budgeting and Saving 101, a money management masterclass. Click the link in the description box or the show notes so that you can register today. And that leads perfectly into our next thing if you want to achieve your goals in 2025 is you got to notice what's working and what's not working. Period. If you start taking action and you realize, okay, this ain't really working for me. In my money clarity sessions, when I'm going over like people's budgets, their income, their expenses, their savings goals, their financial goals, basically creating this customized plan for them, of course, I give them my recommendations as the responsible homegirl, but your personal finances are personal. So what works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. But the thing is, we have to be aware of that and be willing to make some changes. I know for me in my personal finances, cash does not work for me. Because my $200 turned into $20 way too quick. And I don't know if I'm the only one like that, but I'm just not a cash girly. I cannot do cash. Now, my card, on the other hand, I love using my card because not only do I have that electronic paper trail of I can see like where I spent my money. I don't know. I just kind of keep this tally in my head of that digital number. Versus cash is like, once it's gone, it's gone. And same thing with the car, but I don't know, maybe it's just something psychological with me. But again, personal finances are personal. So as you are making these goals, as you are taking action, you got to notice what's working and what's not working. And all of this was inspired by this Tony Robbins audio that I was listening to. And I was like, this stuff that he's telling us about our life and wanting to change our life, the same stuff applies to your finances. So that's why I'm putting my own spin on it. But it's so key that you look at your finances from a holistic perspective and just think about, okay, I can't say that I want something and then not do the work behind it. And then once I start doing the work, I got to measure it. I got to see whether it's working or not. Sometimes when I'm working with people one on one and I tell them, okay, your issue is eating out. You see that you spent about $500-$600 a month last month on eating out. This is not including groceries. This is just you DoorDashing, Uber Eats, eating in some place, fast food. You see this number. Most of the time, they hate that number. They're like, okay, we got to cut this down. So my recommendation, okay, instead of being so strict on yourself saying, oh, I'm only going to spend $200 eating out, that's cool. You can do that if you want to. But another alternative is, okay, Monday through Sunday, not Monday through Sunday, sorry, Monday through Thursday, you eat at home. At the top of the week, you plan your meals, you cook your meals, and I'm not saying you got to cook all the meals on Monday, but you plan, you cook, you eat leftovers, and then Friday through Sunday is free game. If you want to eat at home, you eat at home. If you want to eat out, you eat out. So that could be something that you try. Some people, they take it, they use it, and it works for them. Some people, it doesn't work. Some people, they prefer to put that money in a totally separate checking account. Like, oh, if I say I'm only spending $300, this $300 is going to be over there. And once this $300 is gone, it's gone. So as you start taking action, you will realize what's working and what's not working. But you won't know that if you're not taking action. So 1, start with vision. 2, start taking action. 3, notice what's working and what's not working. And then 4, last but not least, if it is not working, change your approach. Don't change the goal. Change your approach. And no, just because you don't reach a goal doesn't mean that you're wrong or something is wrong with you or you did something wrong. Maybe it's the timing. Maybe something else unexpected happening. Like, there's so many different factors that play into actually achieving these goals. But I want you to know that you have more power than you know. You have more power than you think. So if something isn't working, change the approach. And just fall in love with the journey and the process of becoming. And I love that I'm having this conversation right now because this is what I'm experiencing in real life, especially in terms of my business. I can't get hooked on this desired outcome that I have no control over. But what I can get hooked on is the person that Kiani is becoming. How I'm becoming a better servant, how I'm becoming a better teacher, how I'm becoming a better student, just all of these different things that fuel my desire to keep going. So just to do a quick recap, how to really achieve your goals in 2025. You do not need more education. You need action. Start with why. What's your vision? What are you working towards? 2, start taking action. Consistency produces results. Number 3, notice what's working and what's not working. And then number 4, change your approach until you get to where you want to be. Enjoy the journey. One of the things that I love to say is take the risk and enjoy the ride. Anytime you put a goal out there and you set yourself up to go pursue a thing, achieve a thing, you're taking a risk. So take the risk and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ebbs and flows of life. Enjoy the lessons. Enjoy being in the valley where you learn the most lessons. Enjoy being on the mountaintop where you harvest from all of the seeds that you've sown. Enjoy it all. Embrace it all. Count it all joy. So I hope that you learned something from this and you took value from this, and more than just filling yourself up with information and knowledge. I love it because I'm forever a student. I love consuming information. But on the backside of that, make sure that you are taking action. Don't just be a hoarder of education and information, especially as we head into this financial literacy month. And I am going to be sharing financial education. I'm going to be sharing different things to inspire you to act. And that's one thing that I'm focusing on. Not just sharing financial education, but making sure that I share stuff that can help you take action. And I'm not talking about hard stuff, y'all. I'm talking about simple, small actions that can make a big difference in your personal finances and in your life, period. Whatever your goals are, it's important that you start off with a solid financial foundation. And I believe we all live in a time where we want to build wealth, build wealth, build wealth. But building wealth begins with budgeting. So every third Tuesday of the month, I am going to be hosting Budgeting and Saving 101. It is a money management masterclass where I'm going to be teaching you the foundations of budgeting and saving money. So this month, it is April 15th. It's going to be April 15th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. So if you are interested in that class, I want you to click the link in the description box or the show notes and register for the class. And I can't wait to see you because I know that it will take your personal finances to a whole nother level. So make sure you register for Budgeting and Saving 101. Financial stability is literally at your fingertips. Literally. It's so close. So small things that you need to change. Small things that you need to change. Little things that you just need to shift your mindset around. You need to get clear on your vision. You need to get organized with your money. You need to know the accounts that you need and that you don't need to make all of this flow together. So I want to see you in Budgeting and Saving 101, the Money Management Masterclass on April 15th at 7 p.m. and going forward every third Tuesday of the month. So I hope that this conversation was super helpful for you. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe, comment any questions, or what was your main takeaway out of this video. If you're listening on podcast, give us 5 stars, rate it however you feel, leave a comment, leave a review so that more people can be introduced to the Responsible Homegirl and they can start their personal finance journey and they can learn how to stop wasting their money and become financially responsible so that they can live the life of their dreams. I will see y'all in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.